Thank you. I'm Edgar Jones and I'm the Programme Leader for the MSc in War and Psychiatry. We're a research-led course. We were set up in 2005 because in King Centre for Military Health Research we've been doing a spread of research for at least 10 years, and we thought it would be a good way to devolve and explore these ideas further. We're definitely multidisciplinary. We take people primarily from psychology, but also psychiatry, law, history, war studies, even philosophy, anthropology. And we're also very keen to attract students from across the world. This year we've got 10 overseas students, one from Egypt, one from Malaysia, one from Tunisia, one from Italy, several from America. And that gives us a diversity in terms of content because we encourage people to follow their particular interests. So if you're a student who's been working on Romanian dissidents or people who were imprisoned during the communist period, you know, that's an opportunity to do a dissertation. So we devolve as much autonomy as possible. We have suggested questions. The course is entirely driven by coursework, so essays and the dissertation. And we do have suggested essay topics, but if you come to me, we can work out something that fits your particular interests. And the one area where we've really developed it, I suppose, over the last couple of years is into terrorism. Sadly, we're very close here to a terrorist attack which occurred earlier this year. And so we as citizens of Europe and the world are, you know, we're all vulnerable to these events. So part of the course is to understand how people become radicalized, what encourages them to join terrorist groups, but we also explore how we as individuals can cope in an environment of increasing risk or uncertainty. And we've done research on that ourselves. At the moment we're structured into these 4 modules. So there's a broad introduction where we look at the impact of culture, different dimensions in which trauma arises, so civilians versus armed forces, but different nations. We look particularly at Germany, the Soviet Union, Israel, the Far East. And we look at, you know, the different ways that trauma expresses itself, so not just as PTSD, but as psychosomatic illnesses, depression, anxiety, and the cultural expression of distress. We have a more specialized course on civilians and extreme trauma, which is this year is taught by Ian Robbins, but I should warn you that he retires, and that will be taken on by Dr. Alberta Engelbrecht. And the advanced concepts of military psychiatry is an opportunity to invite external speakers. So, for example, we have Peter Moore, who was held hostage for something like 990 or 980 days. In various parts of Iraq. We have an expert who works in the shipping industry who negotiated the release of hostages from pirates in the Indian Ocean. We have experts on military families. In the past we had somebody come and talk about the techniques of bomb disposal and the stresses on that. But and we have a counter-terrorism police officer who comes in. But in that advanced concept, it's an opportunity to bring in specialist speakers to relate the work that you're interested in. And there's a dissertation, 15,000 words, where, as I say, we try to devolve as much choice as we can. So we encourage diversity because it's more interesting for us, makes the course more interesting to teach, and it makes it a genuinely two-way process. And there's an indication of some of the students we've had in the past. Most of our students, the core group, I would say the core discipline is psychology, so most people then go on to work as assistant psychologists with an idea of training for declin psych or a PhD, and tend to work for military charities or NGOs. And we do, from time to time, have members of the armed forces or security services as well. As I said, we're research-led, and we draw on the past. We have historical elements, sociological elements, but it's designed to inform current practice. And some of our students have been able to publish their dissertations, you know, because they have a relevance to policy, or they feed into new ideas about understanding trauma and treatment. What else? Oh, these are just some websites. I recommend that you go on to our particular, there are two websites, the MSc in War and Psychiatry. There's the generic one from King's. I would pass very swiftly over that and find ours, which is a much more detailed one with an embedded film. And these are some of the sources that we'll use if you decide to come to the course.